Thanks for joining. This is Movado, and I'm back here with another episode of the Ashes to Ashes Reforged Eden 2 Let's Play series. In this part of this episode, I'm going to focus on how to get some more high-end resources in large quantities. A lot of people are looking for Xeno, and what I'm going to show you here is probably the best source of Xeno in the game. So I'm out here in Polaris territory. Random moon. I'm in a hot system. I tend to find hot systems are where you find this because a lot you tend to find the crystalline moon that is an X-Corp testing ground for the new drone AI. That's the planet you're looking for, or the moon you're looking for. So jump to a lot of different hot systems. Look for this. When you see it, it's this light blue color. It's got to have this description down there. And then you come into the planet and you're going to find some Xeno towers that we are just going to pick up, honestly. Some of them don't even have cores in them. A lot of them don't have cores in them. So they're just as simple as zapping them with a multi-tool and walk away with a lot of resources. So here we go. Let's go into the planet. I'll show you what you're looking for. We need to get a little bit closer to the ground so they start spawning in. If you've watched some of my other videos, you may have seen this before. In the last Let's Play series, I kind of skipped over this part a little bit while I found this planet. I never actually showed what I did on this planet. Okay, so you can see these big white glowy things in the distance. These are what we're looking for. Some of them have cores in, some do not, assuming nothing has changed. So let's go to this first one. The moment of truth. Do these have cores? I don't know. We're about to find out. Okay, so I am going to connect to container, send out my drone. Oh, this does not have a core. So, very simple. What I like to do is I like to turn on debug mode for structural integrity, because then they're not glowing white, they are green and they're just easier to see. So we're going to basically zap this at the bottom, and then we are going to pick all these up. And I had 0 Xeno material before I started this, so we're going to find out how much I get from just this little one. Here's the generator. Oh, look at that. I just picked up the generator. Same as titanium plates, steel plates, Palladium plates. And now we got all this stuff all, and this is the good stuff right here. And again, didn't require me to do anything other than just fly up and hit it with a multi-tool. And this is how I get the Xeno and a lot of the Palladium and titanium for my combat ships. Gotta stay a little bit closer to my drone so it doesn't despawn. So I tend to get a lot of questions. How did I get the Xeno for my Fists of Lisa combat ship, or you know, whatever? And this is always how I get the Xeno for my ships. I come to a crystalline moon just like this. Pick this stuff up. Alright, we pick all that up. And I'm going to move my ship just a little bit closer. You know, one thing I should talk about is, since the last episode, I should actually talk about how we got here a little bit, is after the end of the last episode, ATAC and Rad and I, we did warp all the way over to Polaris space. We did a little bit of exploration, but really we just came into one system that had a lot of planets, and that's where we sat down to do some more kind of planning, prep work. Plan out where our next base is going to be, find some key resources like this. We're all kind of working on getting miners and getting resources set up within the base. So more than likely I'm just going to do this by a standalone and then add it to a few other resource collecting videos and put it all into one. So anyway, that's kind of how we got to where we are. Been hitting random pentaxid along the way. Okay, this one is done. And we got 17,000 Xeno out of that. Larger stack sizes here, that's a server modification. We had a little bit of steel plates, but still having 15,000, 8,500 Sathium, that's a lot. And then almost 9,000 titanium plates. Just out of that little guy right there. Okay, let's keep going. There's a lot of these out here. First of all, let's turn off structural integrity so they stick out more. Now, some of these have cores in them, and I don't know all the ones that do versus don't. I know the really big ones for sure have cores. Some of the smaller ones may not. Alright, let's see. That one has a core. I'm just going to skip it because I don't have a ship ready to take out cores right now. So it's just going to be the smaller ones. I have a feeling this one right here is going to be okay to take down. That one over there probably is. And if you ever do need to take out one that has a core, my favorite method to do that is to use an SV. Let's see what that glitch there. I got kicked out of the ship. My favorite method is to use an SV and using a light minigun turret or a Gatling turret. Yep, this is good to do. Using a light minigun or Gatling turret to target the generators. And the generator is right next to the core. So wherever your turrets shoot is where you'd want to dig down and take out the core. Usually I use rail guns to puncture through the walls of these. But as you can see here, this is just no core, so just salvage away. Again, make sure you're connected to a container or you lose all this. If you're wondering the version, this is the newest version released the end of March. Build 28 maybe. I think it was released March 27th or March 28th. Alright, we got this one. Good enough. Where are we at now? Yeah, and now it's 35,000 Xeno. I have enough to build a Fist of Lisa combat ship. 17,000 Sathium, 17,000 Titanium, so just in a few minutes I got all that stuff. Alright, well I'm going to keep on bugging around this planet. You get the idea. I'm just going to keep targeting all these small ones, pick up a bunch of Xeno. I'm going to use my factory stuffer and chuck it into the factory as well at some point, but that's going to do it for this planet, and after I get done with this, I'll head to somewhere else and we'll see what comes next. Okay, and this next clip is all about how to make money as you get started into your galactic journeys. So part of the RE2 progression is you always need to hit up the traders to get some of those key components that you may not loot, call it plasma converters or thruster components or radiation shielding, or there's a lot of different things you may need to buy as you get started in your playthrough. A lot of different ways to make money. My favorite, and what I believe is one of the easiest ways, is to come here to this Polaris orbital refinery. Now the orbital refineries are actually found in every trade station sector within Polaris space. So that's one of the benefits of coming to Polaris space, is you get these trade station sectors that are in every single system here. And within the trade station sectors, you always get an orbital refinery. Every single time they are guaranteed to have one. At least every single one that I've been to has had one. So easy to find them. And what they do is they buy a massive amount of ore at pretty reasonable prices. It's not amazing prices, but it's reasonable. And it's reasonable enough to get you started with all the credits you're going to need. So I'm going to come over to this guy. We buy ore, big sign, easy to miss. Just kidding if you don't look. So, okay, I'm going to pull down some of this ore that I have. I don't think he buys magnesium, but that is what I'm going to pull down. So basic stuff: silicon, cobalt, copper, magnesium, titanium. Trade, and he is buying. Let's see, silicon at 22. I'm going to sell him 5,000 of that, and that's going to give me 120k. Titanium, sell him 3,000 of that. That's going to be another 128k. Copper, yep, I got a lot of that. I'm going to sell him like 7,500. That's 215k. He does not take cobalt, which is fine. Does not take magnesium. He does take sadium ore, which I don't know. Do I have sadium? No, I must have processed it all. That's all right. Okay, and just like that, what should I get out of that? I have 500,000 credits. Easy enough. All I did is I hit asteroids in the asteroid belt or asteroid field within Polaris territory. Super safe to mine. Target these: iron, copper, silicon, titanium, neo, and sadium. This guy buys it. I think I have some neo. Nope, I processed all that as well. And that's, in my opinion, the best way to get started with credits. Use that to buy all your other stuff. Okay, so now that we have these credits, let's just head to the trade station really quick, the one that's right here. Because there is probably stuff there that I'm going to start spending some coins on. So let's go. Where is the trade station? Oops, it is this way. Okay. Might run into this trade station. Okay. And we're here. Slide over a little bit. Always steal their air. It's free. Okay, now we're going to come up here. Now, if we look at, let's say, not the massive dump. If we let's say we look at the Fists of Lisa, combat CV. What are some things we need? Xeno, all this top stuff. This is all normal, basic resources. Arrestrums, Astosium, you just need a target out in the galaxy. Platinum, you need, there's a couple places. Usually you get those either from Midnight Planets or the Metallic Moons. I'm going to try to hit those later in an episode or in a clip within this video. Graphite gold, all normal stuff. Plasma converters is really the big thing. Plasma converters, superconductors, and some of this other stuff. Plasma converters we can get right here. I think it's this guy. I'm here to buy. Well, here's some superconductors. Here's an advanced upgrade kit. I'm definitely going to buy one of those because within this, I need one advanced upgrade kit. I always buy those. The 4 quantum processors are definitely going to come from abandoned POI. I'll get to the modulated laser turrets later. 32 superconductors though. And then the plasma. So how much are 13? That's actually a lot. It's 160k. That's fine. I'm gonna buy those anyway. I'm not gonna buy anything else from him right now. I'm gonna look for the plasma converters. I don't think I need anything else in here. I bought some armor boosters off video, and I bought a heavy armor as well. Yeah, I don't need anything there. Guns. go through all these guys to see what's all worth buying. Nothing there right now. Those are weapon mods. Those are kind of cool. The laser upgrade kits are critical to buy if you want to get auto miners going. So I always buy a couple of those if they have them. Some of the other upgrade kits can be nice. I bought an LS-4075 laser rifle. See, they're like 12K. They're not too bad. So I bought one of those the other day, so I don't need to make one. Small upgrade kits are sometimes nice to buy, but you don't need it for your ship. I will oftentimes empty out clinics. So just hop into the clinic. It's usually not that much money, especially when you trade for all those supplies. You know, that's where I got my first stuff. So 29, it's 2,000. Yep. Okay, no problem. 11, 4K. Gonna buy those. And I'm gonna spend a bunch of coin here, but you know what? That's okay. That's why you just do the quick mining. You hit some asteroids. I don't need that many. Although Hot Pants breaks his legs a lot, so I might need him for him. He's gonna appreciate that comment. Antitoxic, we'll get 10 of those. Adrenaline, I never use adrenaline shots, but I'm going to buy 5 anyway. And then he doesn't have any radiation pills. Okay. Let's keep moving. We hit the Quantum Star, the store. I think this is where the plasma converters are, maybe. Auto miner. Here's some platinum ingots. So this is a good spot to get platinum ingots. So I get 28 as that's cheap. Yep, gonna buy those. Auto miner cores if you want those. Plasma converters. Buy. 22 of those, 6K. You're gonna need those for your ships. You're gonna need them for your SVs, possibly SVs, definitely your CVs. And then the bar. Okay, and then there's one other trader in here that I don't think people always know about. It's this guy right here, the suspicious businessman. Look at all this. He buys all this stuff. So if you got weapons during combat that you want to sell, enhanced laser drills, guided rocket, it's really hard to see right there. Okay, guided rocket launch, all these epic weapons. This guy buys them for good prices too. So as you're looting POIs, you get stuff you don't want, you're never going to use, come to this guy right here to sell it. Look at those teeth. He's happy to buy them. Okay, well that's going to do it for this part. I don't know what's coming next because I'm kind of recording these as I do them on the fly. So whatever comes up next, I'll try to focus on some more resource collection. It'll probably be a couple POIs that I hit up to do some trading. So, all right, thanks all. Alright, this next session is all about some key resources you are going to need to get your initial ships, your combat ships, or your high-G miners spawned in. So one of the hurdles you need in the early game is gold. Additionally, a lot of times you need some magmacite, and you also need some platinum. So where I'm at today is I am on one of my favorite planets for the early game. This is a hell planet. Still here in Polaris space, so this is a friendly area. You shouldn't find too many hostiles here other than the ground creatures. But there's 3 things you get off this planet. Number 1, straight in front of me, magmacite. You're going to need magmacite for a lot of the things you mine. And I am still here in my starter miner, right? This is a core only build, so it's not a high-end miner. So I'm only going to fill this about halfway up, but you go up to these. Obviously, you've mined magmacite before. They provide magmacite, they provide diamonds as well, which you'll eventually need. I'll show those. See, I just got a raw diamond right there. I'll show another place where to get diamonds, but the magmacite you're going to need for a lot of the things you do. I'm going to come back to the ship, dump this off, and I'm going to clear out this magmacite, and then we're going to go on to the next spot on this planet. There's 3 things I like to get here. So first is the magmacite. Found that I can get 4 rocks and safely make it back without hopefully 4. Okay, 4 worked. I don't want to get buried into the lava here. Still running with Atlas, obviously. It's working just fine. This is only a 1.6 G planet, so it's a pretty light planet. Hell planets are typically found in your hotter systems, so That's where you're going to look for that. I am almost out of oxygen and fuel in this ship, so I got to be careful. Less concerned about the oxygen and more concerned about the fuel aspect of it. But I'm good on fuel yet. Alright, and obviously if you looked in there, I got a lot of gold ore on me. I've been busy on this planet already, mining up the gold deposits that are here. Get to that next. There are a mixture of large and medium-sized gold deposits on these hell planets. And these magmacite formations are huge. They're like significantly more dense than they've ever been before. That was a recent change. You also get gold ore from them. You get mining slag, which you've seen both of those pop up before. Gold ore is pretty straightforward. Mining slag, you just drop in your deconstructor, I believe. It tells you if you read the description if it's deconstructor or furnace, I forget which. Deconstructor, yeah. And this is how I get from kind of the early game to the mid to end game with gold. You know, there's also the metallic moons. Those are a super popular option for gold. I'm actually going to come back for that because I'm not going to get them both and I don't overweight. The metallic moons are nice, but they're high G. They're 3.5 G, where this is 1.7 G. Oops, wrong direction. And then once we get over to the gold, I'll take a look around at the areas over there because there's something else that's really important you can get here that sometimes people are looking for. You can buy it as well, but I'll show you when I get there. Okay, I'm docked up. And I'm just going to get down here and go. Okay, heading to the east, there is a... Where did I discover? There's a gold deposit somewhere here. Yeah, it's right there. So that's the other thing with these hell planets is they are littered with promethiums, large promethiums, medium zascosiums, medium magnesium, maybe even larger magnesium. So it's got some really good resources here. But the gold is what my draw is. For sure, Magmacite you need for sure, especially as you get into the modulated turrets that you're going to eventually build for your combat CV. Assuming you're using the Fist of Lisa or another ship that uses the modulated turrets, those are going to need Magmacite. You're also going to need diamonds. I'm getting a couple here, but not the quantities that I need, so I'll end up getting more of those later on, and I'll get those in another clip as part of this episode. Okay, so gold deposits are right here. I am not going to mine out this gold deposit. I actually think I have enough gold deposits here, but what I am going to do is I am going to land my ship. And I'm going to show you something else you can get off the hell planets. That is very helpful. Okay. I gotta find them first. First of all, these big things are carbon substrate. If you want to mine carbon substrate, this is a gold rock right there, so you can get those. But the other thing I'm looking for, and they are sneakily hidden within here, right here. This guy right here. This little white veiny rock. This is platinum ore. Those are platinum ore surface rocks. So if you need platinum ore in the early game for a warp drive or some of the early game stuff, you see how common these are. I tend to find them on the shores, but don't be afraid to use this planet for those early game platinum needs. Look out for those little overseers crawling on the ground. And you tend to find them in packs or patches. I'm not seeing anything through here. There's another one right here. Just look for those silvery veins. And that's what you get here. That's the other benefit of the hell planet. So you get magmacite, which can produce diamonds. You get gold, which you need to build all your optronics and stuff like that. And then you can get platinum to get warp drives and everything else. Alright, well that's going to do it for this clip. Obviously, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be right back with the next part of this video. Okay, and this next section is about diamonds and wood. So diamonds, there's a lot of different ways to get them, but I am here on a it's not showing the right system when I'm clicking on it. Here we go. I'm here on a temperate rainforest planet, which in this case is found around an M3 location. Temperate rainforests are my favorite location for a couple of reasons. Number one, Talon quarries. Actually, there's two quarries here. Even better. I didn't realize that before. But Talon quarries are a fantastic way to get your diamonds early on for those modulated weapons you need for my ship or some of the other ones. In the last episode, in the last section, I showed how you can get them from mining Magmacite, but that is really slow. The one thing with the Talon quarries is you do need to have credits on your inventory and your bank on your person in order to do it. So make sure you do have the credits because they do not accept stuff from inside your bank. Okay, is it this guy? Raw diamonds, 24 by 13,000. Yep, that's where we get those from. Let's go to the other one. So as you're building up your starter ships or trying to get diamonds, this is the perfect spot to go. Quarries, the Talon. Here we go. And Talon, I typically find these on habitable systems. So, in this case, obviously, it's a temperate rainforest. And then once we get through this, once I can land here, I will show you the other thing I like about rainforest. Obviously, there's a lot of wood here, but there's a specific section that I always like to go to get the wood. And I will show you that in a minute. Okay. Merchant. How many you got? 23. That gives me 47. That gives me half of the diamonds I need. Over half the diamonds I need for my combat ships, Fist of Lisa. So, good spot to go. If I come back here and, I don't know, traders reset every 3 to 6 hours, whatever that is. That's a good thing. You can just come back and buy them again and then buy them again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly around a little bit, because if you look in the top right corner up by the mini map, it says storm and then it says forest. Forest is the biome that we are in. The reason why I like temperate rainforest is because there is a specific biome that I'm looking for, and I'm going to fly to the north a little bit, that is perfect for harvesting trees, and I'll show you why as soon as I can get there. But again, we're looking for red forest, not just a forest. It's got to be the red forest. And we don't want to be in friendly territory. So here I'm in a red forest. I'm going to get a little bit further north. A lot of times the red forests are bordered by these open areas, which you see here. So just pull up next to a red forest and drop down. Okay, now I am going to shut my thrusters off, even though I'm already negative. And I actually don't have much fuel on me, but I do have a ship. Oh, I thought I had it in the workshop ready to go. I'm going to bring in Selenus, add to the factory, start production. And I am going to spawn this guy right here. Then I'm going to actually pull some fuel out of Atlas because I didn't bring any fuel with me. Alright, now if you look around here, you can clearly see there is a lot of trees. Number one, that's one of the nicest things about this is the number of trees you see here. But also, if you look at how densely packed there are, but there are no ground obstructions here. So you can just go through, and usually what I do is I spawn a ship like this down here, and I will just leave it down here, and you can see getting the double harvest. I'll just leave this HV down here and just keep going and chop as many trees as I want. I could probably get a 32k filled in, just only a few minutes. This ship holds a 32k, so you can see how fast I'm already at 15%, how tightly packed this is. So Anyway, that's the temperate rainforest. This is what I like to see here. This is what I always look for. Whenever I get as much wood as I'm looking for, I just leave my HV here. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this section. Obviously, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, and I'm back to talk a little bit more about gold. As if we haven't had enough gold, you're always going to need more gold. But on top of the gold that we need, we also need platinum, and that's why I'm here today at this funny looking planet. So this is actually a metallic moon. You may have seen videos about me talking about this in the past. It's one of the few planets that has gold on the surface, and not only does it have gold on the surface, it has massive amounts of gold. So what you're looking for are these circular pools. If you look at the description, it talks about hot spots of molten gold allow access to the softer mantle, providing a way of mining the deposits trapped beneath the hardened crust. So this planet does two things. Number one, gold, lots and lots of gold. If you haven't ever seen this planet before, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to show you this really, really quick. Basically, these pools are gold. You can see 21 ore, more ore, more ore. And you just go down here, and it's just the top layer or two that you mine off. I think a lot of people know this, but this is one of the two benefits of this planet. You can go through and you can mine out this whole crater here. That is a lot of ore. The other thing is you see right there is platinum. That was actually really good timing. If you read the description, it says the molten places, hotspots of molten gold allow access to the softer mantle, providing a way of mining out the deposits trapped beneath the hardened crust. Platinum is trapped beneath the hardened crust, and the reason why I'm here today, the primary reason, is because one of my next goals is getting in my combat ship. In order to get the combat ship, if you look at my resource list, it's almost full. It's almost done. I got all the basic stuff. I need to mine a little bit of aluminum powder. That's easy. I need the platinum ingots. That's the big thing. Matrices, I'm working on making those. I'm almost done with the modulated turrets. I need to go to Xerox space for those. That's going to be what's probably the last thing I do. But for now, what I'm going to do is I am going to get, as soon as it switches, I am going to get that platinum. Show you how that's done really easily. If I can get in this hole. Really a little jagged spike there is stopping me. Okay, so we dig down, There's a hardened, the crust there is too hard. And then I'm just going to line straight to platinum. And that's the way I'm going to go. I have to come back through this hole on the way back, but we can just mine there. It's not very far. But this is the next step. If you can't notice, I'm in Leucothea, high gravity ship. Kind of through the series of this episode, I've progressed. Some of the gold that you saw me mine on the Hell planet, I turned into optronics so I could make this ship. Then I kept mining. I kept trading. Bought some more like plasma parts and more superconductors. Bought some more advanced upgrade kits. I actually have a Poros Deuce in the factory ready to spawn. I just haven't spawned it yet. I just got that one ready. And I'm working on the combat ships, so that's kind of the progression. This Leucothea Deuce is the first ship I brought in since basically the starter ships. Almost there, 140 feet. There it is, I can see the platinum. The other place I like to get platinum sometimes is on midnight planets, but I have not seen a midnight planet yet, so this is the location. It's a guaranteed spot to find it. Platinum ore. Lots of it. And you can trade for it. I mean, I showed you that too. You can go trader to trader. I need 300 some ingots, and you're always going to need a little bit of platinum for, I think, a few other things too, so it's good to go and mine it sometimes. If you notice, I left Atlas out in outer space. It's not 3.5G capable, so if you're going to come to a metallic moon, Make sure you have a high G capable ship. A lot of miners by default are high G capable because they can carry so much materials. So a lot of times you can get away with bringing them in here, but some miners are not. I shouldn't say a lot of them are. Some of them, quite a few maybe, are not capable of this environment. Alright, well you get the idea. This is where I get platinum. There's about a 30% ore left, and so far I have gotten 400 platinum ore, which that already should be enough to get my combat ship built in. Oh, I hate that glitch. It just popped up and said my storage is full. Okay, that's going to wrap up this one. I'm going to be right back with the next clip in this series. Alright, and for this last section, this is the most dangerous part of everything you're going to collect for your combat ship. So, if we look in the factory, I've got everything completed through here. I've got all the resources. I got some aluminum powder mined. Platinum ingots you saw me get from the metallic moon. Other stuff, made the bridges, bought some of the plasma converters, also looted some. Bought the superconductors. What's left, really, we got the quantum processors through the abandoned factories, or abandoned POIs, bought the upgrade kit, actually looted some of those. The only thing that's left is the light modulated laser turrets. I've already got the diamonds for that. I got the Magmacite, which I believe goes in there as well. And the last thing is the Palladium. Palladium is the most dangerous thing to get. So if we look in the PDA under resources, ores, somewhere down here, Palladium, found on barren planets, methane moons, toxic moons, but only found in hostile galaxies such as Xerox, Creodrome, or Wasteland. So what I typically do to come get these is I'm going to look for the methane and toxic moons. If you haven't noticed, I am here in my Poros Deuce miner. Brought this miner rather than my Atlas simply because it has a bigger shield and a full steel hull. So if there's anything at warping, I'm hoping the steel hull will be and the big shield will be enough to take it on. So I find myself here in Xerox territory, barely on the edge of it. It's the closest area to Polaris. And inside here, there are a couple methane moons. Ironically, there's a methane moon and there's a methane moon. I don't know, I'm not sure the difference between the two or if it matters. But I'm going to go to the first one. We're going to take a look. So I'm warping in just to show you what it's like. Who knows? I might get blown up on warping. That's the risk you run. That's why this is the most dangerous part. When you do this, my shield's not moving. I don't hear any threat detected buzzing. Yep, there is a lot of stuff here. And I need to make it to that moon. Alright. Dang, these are heavily armed and guarded. Just looking around, are there even any? There is one ship way off in the distance. It's right there, I'm pointing at it. Just need to make sure I get around all these outposts and not get hit by them. Okay, so the other reason I brought the Poros is not only does it have a steel hull, but it also has an advanced warp drive in it. Quicker on the warp. I think I am fine down here. Two miles is enough for those metric folks. They all know that though. Let's see here. Anchor Station, Naval Shipyard, Defense Satellites, those are all too far away. Yeah. Alright. Heading into the planet. Coming in, I'm going to come in at a very shallow angle. Well, it doesn't really matter. This ship has amazing thrust. I did stick the leucothea miner to the outside of this. Oh, palladium ore vein. Hey, look at that. Palladium ore vein is right there. Palladium ore vein is right there. That's in 0x space, though. That's in 0x space, you shits. Why do you have to do this to us? Alright. First things, let's look at the planet. I don't think there's patrol vessels on the moon. Famous last words, I know. The palladium ore vein, I'm just going to go over there with my CV and see how close that is to the POI. I think this one's fine. I actually think that's outside. I think I'll be able to get them both, honestly. You can see Leucothea is stuck kind of at the bottom of my ship. I don't have a docking pad on this ship, and that's probably the one thing I kind of wish it did have. It's a docking pad, but it doesn't. Oh, I bet you that's a palladium ore vein too there. Or palladium ore. Says it's going to hail. So I just got to be careful. Okay, first things first. I'm going to turn Leucothea on. I'm going to go in its control panel, and that's fine. Okay. I don't see anything here hostile. And come here. And sit right here by my ship for some protection. Really just want my shields to come up. There we go. And now we get to mining. Palladium ore vein. I don't know exactly how much of this I need, but I'm probably just going to mine up. Oh, I'm getting magnesium from here. I don't know where that was coming from. Probably the surface. But I'm going to try to mine up as much of this stuff as I can that's on the moon. Because I'm sure I'm going to need more of it than I think I need. But you can see it. It's these big rocks underground. Be careful not to structural collapse it because it will do that. So I like to come in at the top and kind of mine around to make sure you don't get underneath some of the blocks. Because if they structural collapse and drop, you don't get them. Apparently my lights don't work very well underground here. Yeah, there's a lot down here. Like I said, I'm going to go for all the stuff that's here. I'm going to go through this moon. The reason I like coming to moons, I don't know that I mentioned this before. If I did, I apologize for repeating myself. But the reason I like to target the moons rather than the planets, because the moons tend to be, at least I believe, to be a little bit safer in the environment, in outer space. I don't believe I've seen as many hostiles. I didn't see any drones there. Again, doesn't mean they're not there. My storage is full. Should I get there? 2,000 ore, which, again, I don't exactly know how much that is exactly. But the veins are longer, like we just saw kind of a vein running off in a direction. Again, visibility is really shit here, but it is what it is. Versus there are other palladium areas that are just simply balls of resources underground. Okay, well, I'm going to keep looking around here. Like I said, there's another one up here. There's an ore vein there, and I'm certain there's more there. I'm going to keep looking around, getting a ton of palladium, and then that is going to probably wrap it up for what I need to build the Fists of Lisa Combat CV. There's probably a few other things. There is the thermal interactions and the chromium Sierra POIs. Those are both POIs you're likely going to want to find for radiation shielding, heat exchangers, antimatter components, stuff like that. I am still looking for those. I haven't found those, but for what it is, building this combat CV, this is going to do it for the materials needed there. So that's going to wrap up this one. If you have any questions, obviously let me know. I'll